Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. With me, there's a big history of the hairstyling and beauty. What I have seen the change in India, what I expected. I got the opportunity to go to England to learn the cosmetology, hairstyling and beauty. And that was the time when it was so difficult to go officially to study the hairstyling and beauty from India. And then I studied over there. And then when I came back, I was very young in those days, I was 24, and I could see the situation in India. It was all nai or barber work. People, they didn't have any respect for this kind of the profession. And when I went there, I could see the very high standard, and the people they were the part of the first class society over there. I had come back. I was quite disappointed. And when I was doing the hairstyling to the female, they were always having a jura, and they were not allowing me to cut their hair. I was very disappointed. One point which I could not understand before I coming here, that I was the hair designer, but the people, female, normally 99% female, they had a long hair, and to make jura, I didn't know anything. I was so disappointed, I was going back to England. And little interesting part that my father was the hairstylist of Lord Mountbatten and Pandit Nehru. I was born and brought up in Rashtrapati Bhavan. I didn't have any interest in hairstyling. When the Mountbatten was living in India, he asked my father whether he could go to England with him, or he can go, being a Muslim, he can go to Pakistan or stay in India. My father was very confused. He didn't know what to do, where to go. And he was given 15 days to decide where we'll go. My father was just a gents hairstylist, as a common hairstylist, but because he was working for the VVIPs, and he has a big crown on the head, and he always used to feel proud about it now. I was in the school when Mountbatten was living. They had a very warm human feeling. He asked my father that I will call to your son to England to study the hairstyling. For me, it was very interesting to go. Basically, I was a football player, and all my dream used to be with the football. I never thought I can become a hairstylist, but there was a big charm to go to England and study something there, and see the lovely weather, the big buildings and all this thing. So in young age, there was a big charm to go to England and study over there. Anyway, it was very interesting part. I have seen Mountbatten, who introduced me to Prince Charles. In those days, I didn't know who was the Prince Charles. And studied very well. I was very weak in my study in the beginning because I had nothing to do with the hairstyle now. And I picked up after my half of the training there. There was a 20 girl in my class. I was the only boy. And I was a very slow person in learning something. And after that now, in final stage, I have done very well. And because I used to work a lot, and I was thinking, I came especially from there. I could not afford that kind of the thing, but there was certain goal to achieve, and that's why you come. So I had to work very hard. आप जानते हैं मर्दा क्या नहीं करता है. So I worked very hard and learned something, and at the final stage, the Mountbatten was invited for my graduation, and I was very happy. It was a very proud moment for myself, and I came back. And when I came back, I got a really difficulties when I was not getting any job, because wherever I was going, they were asking me whether can you do the long hair. I didn't know anything. I was very depressed and disappointed. Anyway, I went to the Oberoi Hotel, and they asked them that I'm trained from there. At least you have a number of students, the tourists are coming there, I can do short hair. And I got the job there. I worked 13 years over there to work like this. By that time, I learned long hair slightly, and then I got the experience of 13 years now. Again, I was very keen again go back to England and work over there. But one thing I like to tell you, one thing which is very emotional thing. When I was coming from England, I met Mountbatten and he asked me, what you like to do it? I said, definitely I like to settle in London. He said, no. I invited you to come here, study and go back to your country and look after your father in the old age. That was a very warm feeling in those days toward my father, and I came. Anyway, when I came back here, then I got the opportunity to work for Mrs. Gandhi. And I told her that I'm going back because I'm not very happy. She said, no, you will not go back to your out of the country, but you do something for your country. Thus, it was very disappointing for me because I was quite young and I wanted to see the whole Western world where all kind of the freedom for the life and charm was there, which was not here. Then I stayed here. I said, do something for your country. I don't know what to do for my country and what I could do it. I will ask you all my people, my friend in the Western world or whatever, what I can do it now. Margaret is here from Bombay and she was one of my very good teacher in my academy there. And we met here and she was, I remember when she used to make a finger wave at the side and it was fantastic teacher now. Then luckily now she has moved to Bombay and now she settled in India since long time. And then I asked Mr. Morris, he was the owner of the academy. I said, what I can do for my country? He said, very simple, whatever the syllabus you studied here, you take it there and introduce there. And thus, I have brought the syllabus I started here, which has been about 28 years now. That was the first academy, this kind of the academy in India. I worked very hard. I will tell you, when I was going to England, I had only 400 rupees in my pocket. And it was very difficult for me. I used to work in London. I used to work 8 hours. I used to study 8 hours. And I was sleeping 4 hours a day. About a year. Margaret, you remember that part. So it was very interesting part. I worked very hard and day by day my association with the leading people in the world like Alexander of Paris, Mario in Paris, and I had a big craze to go to see all the leading people in the world now. And Vidal Sassoon also there. So I had come after another course with Vidal Sassoon when I came here. And Maharani Gayatri Devi used to be a very good client of mine. She hinted me, oh Habib, how many courses you can do it now? I said, I have another desire to go to Alexander of Paris. She said, okay, but he is my hairdresser when I go to Paris. I didn't know anything all about it now. She had spoken to him and then he invited me right away that you come to Paris and find. I have waited for some time until I could collect that kind of the money and then managed to go there over there. So that it was a very good experience now. And then I brought my academy. So I think मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि कई दफ़ा इंसानी ज़िंदगी के लिए बहाने बन जाते हैं सारी चीज़ें कि आप चाहते कुछ हो, करते कुछ हो, होता कुछ है. लेकिन आपका इरादा, मजबूती और एक उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की जो बात है वो वहाँ पर जानी चाहिए जो है. आज मैं थैंक गॉड के आज only my student in India are number of the students are doing very well now. One thing more, because during this time several academies has come, industry has come. मैं ब्रीफ में आपसे ये कहना चाहूँगा कि हमारी इंडस्ट्री किस बात के ऊपर आज ठहरी हुई है. हर एक इंसान जब वो पैदा होता है उसको ये ख्याल होता है कि हाउ आई कैन लुक बेटर. जब मैं when I was in London, there were two my class fellows, two girls came from Kenya and they had a cut mark on the forehead and the cheek. I was asking them, what is this now? She said, in our country that is a beauty mark and it is given when the child is born. So it was all this thing. I feel मैं गहराई में होता चला गया because I was very lucky to meet all the top people like Vidal Sassoon, Alexander, Mario, Bruno in Paris. And thus मैंने देखा कि the hair art was greatest art in the world which can change the whole personality of a person, whether it is a male or female. So thus definitely I work very hard. I have 3 sons today. Javed is known everywhere now. My middle son is studying in USA and my younger son also study in London. I feel brief में के अंदर मैं आपको ये कहना चाहूँगी कि आज हमारी इंडस्ट्री किसके ऊपर खड़ी हुई है, वो ये कि हाउ आई कैन लुक बेटर. Even people were living in jungle in those days and they were painting their bodies with the different kind of the colors, and that was also feeling how, because they were uncivilized, and now we are in civilized world, and now we have a more advanced when we talk about the hair cutting is a mathematical system or geometrical system, और spa की बात हम करते हैं और दूसरी बातें हम करते हैं वहाँ पर. तो आज the world is different. Other side अगर आप देखें, Hindustan is the second largest population in the world. If you talk about the beauty industry or hair industry or beauty industry, it is a very, very good market in this country now. आज आप देखेंगे कि at every corner you see the beauty shop is there. In Lokhandwala, where my Javed office is there, वहाँ पर in one street there was a 75 salons. All are doing very well. But I think in spite of big industry, one problem is there which people were talking all about it now, that only the technical standard is not in the hand of the trained people. If I tell you that USA and UK, all Western world, nobody can work until they are basically qualified. And qualification, not only that brief training, they have to cover the 17 subject all in cosmetology. But today I can say if they can, there are so many things, the government was also involved. When you talk about the licenses, when you go to take the license, उनको नहीं पता होता कि license की policy का मतलब क्या होता है. Recently, when I was going to the luxury tax, I was asking them, what is that on the paper? What you charge it? They don't know anything about it. What services are coming in the service tax, luxury tax, or what is not coming? So that's मैं इतना कहूँगा आज मैं बड़ा खुश होता हूँ कि when I started over there, and today this kind of the gathering, this kind of platform when we can discuss absolutely top platform की हम बातें करते हैं, तो that is the standard now. But I feel India is a big country and that is a big platform for the beauty industry, but only lagging behind that वहाँ पर लोगों को it should be technical platform should be really as good as possible to do. Thank you.